that there are 7 million unemployed men that don't want to work and provide for their families. And I'm not talking about they're sick. I'm not talking about disabled. They just don't want to work. The devil is a liar. You are designed to provide. You are designed to give.
Millions of men are choosing to never marry and have no kids. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications that this is going to have on society as well as women. Today's video comes from one of my subscribers, Jim. His channel will be linked in the description so that you can go and check his content out. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
I'm 51, never married, no children. And I know there's a lot of people out there like me that get asked why you're not married, why didn't you get married? You know, you're a good-looking guy, you've got a lot of good things going for you. I'm surprised some girl hasn't just snatched you up there, Jim. Throughout the years, I did date. And I always thought that I would be married and have children. I planned for it. I grew up in church, Christian church. And so I had those values growing up. And joined the military after I graduated high school. I ended up retiring from the military after 23 years, U.S. Army, and did well for myself. And was successful at it. And like I said, I dated throughout the years. And either the women that I liked didn't like me back in return, the ones that I was really interested in, and then those that I didn't think we had a connection, or I just wasn't into them, they were the ones into me. I've never been in a situation where it was mutual. I've never been in a dating situation where we were both into each other. It was always one-sided. And not only that, watching YouTube, I came across the red pill content. Some of you are familiar with it, where you have content creators sharing about the nature of women and what they respond to, what they're attracted to, what their natural state is. That is something that I did not know years ago. And here I am, 51 years old, wishing that I had learned about the nature of women 30 years ago. And that would have helped me tremendously in my dating life. And I floundered around, just did not get it right. All the things that you could do wrong in dating, I did each and every one of them. Showing too much interest, probably appeared too needy, too available. I was too easy for her. She didn't have to compete for me. I answered text messages too soon. I called too soon after dates. Go right on down the list. I did them and didn't realize what I was doing was actually turning them away. Then I discovered on YouTube this book called No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert Glover. And it turns out that I am a nice guy. And I'd heard women in the past say that to me, Jim, you're too nice. But I didn't necessarily know what that meant. What did that mean? And so that book really opened my eyes to what a nice guy is. And you'll hear, the expression, girls don't like nice guys, or nice guys finish last. And how true that is. And I would recommend any man who is a nice guy or been told that, to pick that book up and read it. And when I read that book, it was looking at myself in the mirror. And so that, being a nice guy, not knowing about women nature, is definitely some of the reasons why I was not successful in my love life, never got married, was not able to get married, and didn't have children.
So I read the book, No More Mr. Nice Guy. And it's an eye-opening book. It's very, very eye-opening. But something that it revealed to me is that most women in Western society today have strong exhibitions of narcissistic behavior and poor communication skills. You see, they're playing games. There's a difference between being kind and being direct and having a normal and functional relationship. Women in Western society today, they want men to continually chase them. Jim, for example, is a good guy. He's the type of person, sounds like, as long as he doesn't allow others to take advantage of him, and he is consciously aware of that, the world needs more Jims. The world needs more men that you can rely on. And as long as they're aware of it, and they don't allow others to take advantage of them, for example, I provide value to you, you provide value to me, there are different dynamics in friendships, especially among men. It's different with women, on the other hand. For example, I might have a friend, and we'll talk amongst one another, and he'll basically say, well, listen, this is how I work, this is how this works. So, you do this and I'll do this, right? And it's important, and we laugh about it, and we both want to provide value to one another because that's how our relationship works. I don't want to feel like I'm constantly taking from this person, or like this person is constantly taking from me, right? Like how, I had a great friend where he would do the dish. I hate doing dishes. I hate doing dishes. I hate cleaning up. I can't stand this stuff. Some of this work he does for a living, but he hates to cook. So, he'd come over, we'll chill, watch anime, have a good time. And I would do the cooking, and I love cooking, and I'm cooking anyway for myself. And then, we'd sit, we'd eat, we'd enjoy, and I love cooking for others. I just hate cleaning up. And then he'll say, well, yeah, and I'll clean up afterwards. And he is spectacular at cleaning. And he can clean much faster than I can, and he can clean much better than I can. And in his mind, it's like he's the one winning because he's getting to eat and he's enjoying himself, and all he has to do is clean these things up. And he has all kinds of tricks when it comes to scrubbing pots and stuff, all of this stuff. I feel like I'm the one winning because I'm getting to hang out with my buddy, and he's the one who has to clean up everything afterwards. So we both feel like we're winning. All right? We both feel like we're winning. Women are different. Women view everything from a different perspective. They don't look at it from what value I can provide to you as a woman in return for the value you provide as a man. It's basically all about me, 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 me. And it's not enough to be a provider and a protector, but you also have to continuously stimulate my emotions. The very notion that you cannot be too direct with a woman, you cannot be too nice, it is problematic. As men, we naturally believe that these things will be reciprocated. So we show kindness, believing that it will be reciprocated, that I'm providing value to you, so you would naturally provide value back to me, because that's how human nature is supposed to operate. That's how psychology is supposed to operate. That's how people are supposed to operate. And I'm being very clear. This is how normal, functional human beings operate. We know to create value for one another. Women in Western society have been handed everything by society, and as a result of that, the way that their brains are wired have changed. The way that their thinking operates has changed. I shouldn't say so much the wiring, although it does change the way that women think. So there are changes to the way that women perceive the world around them and the way that they behave. Because in Western society, they're put on a pedestal. This is not how things used to be. And they're told that they're perfect and wonderful, and they're given everything right off the bat. So they go through life thinking that they're special. They go through life thinking that they're perfect. They go through life thinking that the world owes them something. They go through life thinking that they don't have to compete for men because men will just come to them and everything will just be handed to them. They're told that they're goddesses. They're told that, the world was basically built for them. They're told that they are better than men. If they weren't better than men, then why are they given everything? Because they're obviously better than men. They're goddesses. Okay? Men don't typically walk around saying that they're gods. That's, but women walk around saying that every woman should know that she is a goddess. Why would a woman say something like that? Because they believe that just the very virtue of being born a woman makes them a god and means that they should be worshipped. You have women now saying that a woman should only be with men who worship them, who will kneel before them, who will kiss the ground that they walk upon. These are not men that they love. These are not men that they desire. These are men that they want to take advantage of. And unfortunately, in Western society, what these women are doing are creating men who are going to become emotionally unavailable. Men who are going to basically pretend to be something that they're not. Guys, I'm going to tell you straight off the bat, and this is going to sound crazy to you. I have lost some good relationships with women because I forgot how just to be a normal person and I don't want to use the word nice guy, but a good guy. I started doing the whole game thing, and this girl basically, I deserved it. She just told me straight up, like, don't game me, just be real with me. Tell me what you want from me. Just tell me straight what you want from me, you know? And I just kept on trying to game her, and she basically insulted me straight to my face. She was pissed off, but she was not, she was from a different culture. And they don't do that in their culture. The men are very direct, you know? I like you, let's go spend time together. She was Hispanic. And a lot of Hispanic people in other countries, don't get me wrong, feminism, women's liberation, this type of behavior has spread in a lot of other places. But in many other countries, the way that men and women connect is very different. They spend a lot of time together. They pair bond differently. They are very, very close. It starts when they are young, boys and girls coming home from school, hold hands. I've seen this. All right. I used to see this all the time in other countries, and it was something else. Middle school, by middle school, even before middle school, boys and girls are holding hands, walking home from school together, and that is how that's it's shocking. There's no game in these countries. It's literally just they care about one another and they like one another. What we have in Western society is completely abnormal. This is why it's so much better just to walk away and do not date or engage with the individuals in our society. It's I'll put it this way. A lot of MGTOWs, they basically say, that's it, I will never have a relationship with another person again. I will never date or marry or have children. I will not do any of these things. I'm slamming that door shut. And some of them change their minds later on. Some of them were also men walking away because men walking away is a new it's not a new concept, but we didn't have a term for it before to explain it. Men walking away is men with alternatives, and they're choosing from their best alternatives. Some men are MGTOWs. Some MGTOWs are also MWAs, and but not all MWAs are MGTOWs. Some MWAs are, they become passport kings and they go overseas and they find a woman overseas. And not all passport kings are going overseas to find a woman and get into a relationship. Some passport kings are just going overseas to reclaim their sanity and to basically find a better place to live. So some of these guys go overseas. They may date, they may not, but they're just going over there primarily. Their reasoning is just to get away from Western society and have a better life. We have one comment here, for example, from Dan, and he says, I might look into relocating, not looking for a wife or anything. I'm 66 and I've been MGTOW since long before the acronym even existed, and that's not going to change if I move to another country, but just to move anywhere where I'm not seen as the enemy by half the population would be a welcome change. And that kind of illustrates what I'm saying, where not all passport kings are going overseas to find someone. They're just going somewhere to find peace and in a place where they are welcomed and appreciated, not just simply tolerated, which is why the saying goes, go where you are appreciated, go where you are celebrated. And of course, women instinctively know what they are doing is wrong, but they don't care. How do we know this? Because they're going after the passport kings, shaming the passport kings and women who get into relationships with them, because these men are leaving and they know that a country without its men is not a country. A country without its men is a wasteland. But you have to remember that women in Western society absolutely despise us. So they'll never say that they need us. They'll shame us on the way out the door, but at the same time, they'll shame us for leaving, and they'll demand that we shouldn't even be allowed to leave because they view us as their property, as their serfs, as their SLAVEs. That's how they view us. And guys, I regularly tell you to always ensure that your passport is ready to go, because you never know when you need to leave. Many of you are like, oh, angry, I don't care. If everything goes to hell, I'm just going to go down with it. That's easier said than done. And that's not being an adult. That's being a fool. Check out my new course, Passport Bros Masterclass. So you're going to unlock the secrets to living your best life abroad with the Passport Bros Masterclass. Ready to break free from the daily grind and live life on your terms? Join the Passport Bros Masterclass and discover the new American dream, leaving America to live where you're welcomed and valued. In this course, you learn how to build income and a lifestyle you desire from anywhere in the world, travel safely and avoid scams, benefit from my over 10 years of travel experience as an expat and passport bro, navigate the do's and don'ts of dating overseas, create multiple streams of income abroad. Don't miss out on this opportunity to transform your life. Click the link in the description of the video to learn more and sign up today.
And like I said, I prepared for it. In the military, I prepared for it financially. I thought about my wife and I's house. I put down that put money away, started investing in mutual funds, and thought, let's go ahead and start saving for that 20% down payment for a mortgage. I thought about our future kids. I figured I'd have at least 2 kids, put money away in mutual funds for that. And then our retirement into a Roth IRA, and been maxing that out ever since. And so and I still have that money invested, so with my military pension, I can live comfortably without having to work. And I have worked by choice. But right now I'm not doing anything right now. I'm currently at a park, just enjoying myself here in Ohio. The weather's nice, 65 degrees right now, comfortable. and read all the books. The 5 Love Languages, The Men Are From Mars, Women From Venus, the dating books. A lot of them were, some of them were Christian based, some of them were not, and consumed those books. I would listen to Christian radio back in the day when I was going to and from work in the Army. Focus on the Family with James Dobson and Bob Lepine, and just really thought I was going to set myself up for success so that when I did get married, that I would not be a part of that 42 to 50% of marriages that end in divorce.
Means that there are 7 million unemployed men that don't want to work and provide for their families. And I'm not talking about they're sick. I'm not talking about disabled. They just don't want to work. The devil is a liar. You are designed to provide. You are designed to give. Oh, well, I got a business idea. I got potential. I got dreams. And that's what I'm doing. I'm working on my dream. You've been working on your dreams for 10 years. You got to get a job.
You see, guys, this is why I always say all roads lead back to Uncle Angry. You know, it's unfortunate, but it's true. Because you always come back to Uncle Angry, and then you say, Uncle Angry, I don't know what happened. A lot of the Sims, they come back and they say, Angry Sama. Guys, I have more and more Sims in the comments now going, Angry Sama, and they're on their hands and knees. They're on their hands and knees, all right? And the reason why is they come back, and they come back humbly. And they understand that now if I said, you know, get the heck out of here regardless, now I look like a jerk. So now they have to come back, and they have to put their heads on the grounds. And saying Sama is not a form of humiliation. That is a form of respect. But now they have to come back with their hands and knees, you know, knees on the ground, head on the ground, because of their prior behavior. Because they thought they were going to be big men. They went out there into the world and they got screwed. And now they come back and they want answers. And I've said this before, if you're one of those guys who tries to harass me, who tries to say nasty things about me, or who hurts you and this type of crap, and then later on you go out into the world, guys, I've been doing this for over 10 years now. 10 years is a long time. And you go out into the world and things don't work out for you, and now you don't know what happened, and you want answers, and you think about all the other content creators, and they say things that make sense, but many of them don't have the answers. They don't tell you the exact thing. And then you think, well, there was Angry. And then what do? You run back to Angry, and you want answers, and you want Angry to be friendly towards you. And you think, like, well, you think I'm so low value that I'm going to just invite you back and let you say, oh, you know, let bygones be bygones. I don't remember about the time that you were talking all of this crap to me, leaving comments and sending me nasty messages just because you didn't like what I was saying. And now, you know, you went out into the world, you got screwed, and you're looking for answers, and you want me to help you along the way and comfort you? No. No. Hell no. If you ever, I don't want you to come back. And if you ever dare come back, your knees on the ground and your head will touch the ground. Okay? You'll be on your hands and knees. You'll be on your hands and knees. Okay? And in your case, don't even say son, say Sama. Say Sama. I don't tolerate disrespect. Because I'm a man who's learned his lesson. The reason why I have so much wisdom is because not only have I learned from my own mistakes and experiences, but I actively learn from the mistakes and experiences of other men. Even on this channel, I'm constantly learning and learning and learning so that I do not do the same crap that some of you guys have done. All right? I learned from your stories. What am I doing right here? As I'm deciphering what happened to Jim, I'm also learning. I'm also learning from his experiences. That's what has given me wisdom. But a lot of men, they want to have that whole Disney princess thing, Beauty and the Beast, and it's just not happening.
Dreams are fine, but you got to have some action behind those dreams, and you've got to be producing. Dreams are good, but you can't eat them. You can't eat them. You got all of this stress on your wife. You got all of this strain on her because she is stepping out of order to try to provide for the family, and it wasn't intended to be that way.
Do you see what these simps do? This is the reason why I told you a simp, are these men are just agents of the state. The church is nothing more than another form of the state. The streets lead to the church, and the church leads back to the streets. Only fools leads to the streets. The streets lead to the church, or streets leads to only fools, and only fools leads to the church. Guys, it's a vicious cycle. They're all interconnected. They lead back to one another. This is what I warned you guys. Notice who's saying in the background, preach, preach. It's a woman in the background. Every time he shames men, yes, yes. Because these women, just like they are agents of the state, they are agents of the church. Their job is to reallocate wealth and resources from men to the state, so in this case, to the church. These ladies in the church are in collusion with the leaders of the church. Who are the leaders of the church? The pastor, the administrators. They are in collusion. You'd be surprised to know that the pastor has put he's laid his hands down in many different ways than you would ever imagine. For example, you're with this woman and she says, I'm going to go meet with the pastor. She's going to get her back blown out by the pastor. But you would never say anything because he's a man of God until the truth comes out. That's what these guys do. That's what these guys, I've known pastors that do this. I've known women that talk about these pastors that do these things, okay? That they've been intimate with. That's just a place where they meet women. Okay? The church serves as a place for a lot of these men who are, and guys, a lot of these individuals who I'm going to call them what they are. These are not good dudes. Predators. Okay? It's like something out of the movie Predator. That's really what it is. That's what we're talking about. These are not good dudes. These dudes are just trying to take advantage of you. They just want your money. They just want you to serve. They just want to use you. And they use the church as a means of doing this. When you go to other countries, I'm not saying, listen to me. Women are women all around the world. All women want a man who will provide for them and protect them. But when you go to other countries, you could actually damage yourself and your ability to get into a relationship if you try to play the stupid games that women in Western society demand of men. Oh, you're just too nice. Guys, you go overseas, that's just normal behavior between two people. It's very dangerous. You cannot the rules of the game in Western society are toxic as hell. Under no circumstance do you want to engage in the same type of behavior that you would use to court a woman in Western society overseas. Now, in westernized societies like China and, even in places like Mexico, you still will run into these types of women. It depends on where you go in these countries. Okay? Because this women's liberation and believing that they are goddesses and this stuff, it is really spread to a lot of other countries. But in countries in places in countries where this type of thing has not spread to you, you would not do these types of things, gaming women and all this. You're just straightforward. You're straightforward and you will get what you want because it doesn't operate like that over there. The women are already receptive to you. They're already looking for a good man. So if they find a man who is interested in them, they find a man who wants to provide for them, guys, they've won the lottery. They're going to do everything to lock you down as quickly as possible. Oh, you treat her well, you're kind and this and this. Okay, of course she has to lock you down. That's why the Filipinas will fight to protect the men that they have. That's why women in other, not just the Filipinas, women in these other countries, they have a good man. They will fight for that man. They will fight to keep that man. And it doesn't mean that the Filipinos are virtuous. It doesn't mean that any of these women overseas are virtuous. It just means that they have a different way of competing. They understand to provide value, and also they are raised to be wives and mothers. They know how to cook, to clean, to keep their environments clean. It's a part of their culture. This is why when you look at some of the Filipino uh, ghettos where it's like the slums that they may live in, you'll notice something as to how clean they are. Even though these people don't have money, their clothing is so clean. These people are so clean. The slums are so clean. How are these places so clean even though they're living in extreme poverty? It's because of their culture. This is something that you have to comprehend. So a guy like Jim would have done magnificent overseas as a passport king. Just understanding that no matter where you go, women still want your value and your utility, and you have to be very careful. You have to just don't let them, pull one over on you. But just understanding these things, you can find a good woman and you can have a great relationship. Because the relationship between men and women are toxic. It's toxic today. And modern women are the ones who made it that way. They are conditioning men to increasingly become toxic like the men that they love. And when I say like the men that they love, you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Chad, Tyrone, Ray Ray, Pookie, Enrique, Miguel, Little Pancho. They love Little Pancho. They love Little Pancho. These are toxic men. These are toxic men.
You got that sector man that say, I got dreams, I got a business idea. You done had that business idea for 20 years and it's not producing. It must produce. Otherwise, you have to get a job. And when you get the job, your job will seed into your dream. And you got another group of men. God called me to full-time ministry. God called me to be full-time and I'm not supposed to work. If God gave you the vision, God will give you the provision. If God gave you the vision, God will give you the provision. God has not called your family to suffer at the hands of your calling. It's true. It's very true.
So something I want to share with you guys, during the days of Slavery, there were actually more black owners of individuals than white by ratio. So black Americans who were free in society back in those days were more likely to own SLAVESs than their Caucasian counterparts. And even in Africa, this was a traditional thing. You have to remember that when Europeans went to Africa to purchase laborers, they were met at the shores. They were met with these people had already been taken into custody, and they were already being brought for the express purpose of being exchanged for other products. They were a commodity. This was a normal thing. So you have to understand that there's a lot that we truly don't understand about history. This man right here, he is one of these people. Okay, he is an owner. This is an owner. Don't touch his property. He is pissed off that men are running away from the plantation, and he's furious about this. He's trying to say that it's your job, it's your purpose to just serve and provide for society, to provide to the church. And God did not put us here to be used by anyone. Let me make that very, very clear. Guys, I want to remind you to go and check out the Angry Guy Clubhouse. You can get insights on manosphere topics, exclusive podcasts, and strategies to thrive in today's world. Free subscribers get access to videos, podcasts, articles, and community chat. Plus, just for subscribing, you'll receive the passive income blueprint to kickstart your journey. Paid subscribers unlock even more with exclusive guides like the How to Build an Online Business in 24 Hours ebook, wealth building blueprints, and regular updates on crypto trends. Don't wait, click the link in the description and join us now. Guys, after what women have done, the choices that they've made, a lot of women are going to find themselves in increased states of poverty and destitution. Don't forget that half of all women are going to be childless and single in just 5 short years come 2030. It's not going to literally be, oh, wow, we're in 2030 and now half of all women are childless and single. It's going to be a gradual decline in the coming years. Women chose this for themselves. Guys, in 5 years, I will only be 46 years old. I'll only be 46. I mean, things can happen. We don't know how long we'll live. I pray to God that I'll have good health. I'll only be 46. 46 for a man is still young. And I'm grinding. I'm building up my future. Jim is still a pretty young guy. He's 51. 51. He has a lot of life ahead of him. He's saved. He's worked hard. He's only working by choice. So men who've been working on themselves, men who are focused on themselves, those men have a great future ahead of themselves. Learning that you do not need a woman to be happy. If you want to watch Jim's full video, it's linked in the description so you can go check out his full video and support his content. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Millions of men are choosing to never marry or have kids. Do you agree with their reasoning for do this? Let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away. And cheers.